Good morning. Well, how are you? I know I don't have Frankie in here because he's been running in and out of the mud. And it's one thing to have to clean the whole house, but it's another thing to have to also then keep changing my bedding every day. And I put a sheet over my bed, but when it's this wet, it seeps through the sheet. So I just... It's something that I've had to cut back on, which breaks my heart because I like him right beside me all the time. And then when we have 3 dogs running in and out, that's a problem for mama. Anyway, so how are y'all doing? I made my favorite coffee, even though everybody says how bad it is for you. I don't care this morning. I'm going to enjoy my cup of coffee. If I have side effects later, I'm going to have to beat myself up then. But I'm not going to beat myself up the whole time. I could be enjoying this just succulent flavor. Decadent. Not succulent. Which it could be, I suppose. But decadent. That's what I'm looking for. I love coffee. I love the smell of coffee. Not in the beginning, though. In the beginning, I think I had hardly ever had a cup of coffee. I mean, rarely did I drink coffee until I was 29 and came in to Alcoholics Anonymous. I came in the rooms of AA, and they were serving tap water or coffee. Boy, I poured in the sugar and the creamer, and then I finally got tired of that creamer. I was like, I don't know what they put in that stuff. But I cut back to just sugar. And now I can drink it black if I need to, especially if it's a good hearty coffee. Anyway, I need to put on some makeup and talk. So anyway, we change over the years, don't we? It's an acquired taste, but I acquired it. I really like it. I really like it. Most things coffee flavored. Anyway, I was going to talk to you today a little bit about that. It's kind of a little segue. I enjoy coffee, and one of the things that it does is the way I mix it up with sweetened condensed milk, Godiva caramel. I put a squeeze of that in, and a little teaspoon of sugar, and an extra teaspoon of instant coffee. It's called Noir, Noir. Anything that's a dark, rich instant coffee. There's one I had when I went to Germany. I can't remember the name of it, but I was ordering that through Amazon for a while until it just was hard to find. I don't know. Excuse me. Not that I've done great worldly travels. I said it like that. But I was only over there for a couple weeks. I did very little sightseeing. It was a business trip. But anyway, it was a wonderful experience had it not been so stressful. Wonderful little hotel. Oh my gosh. Lovely restaurants. Great ambiance. Nice people. And did a little sightseeing. Took some pictures. I just had a lovely time. But it was so stressful because of the group I went with. Oh my gosh. Some of the people in that group just... Some people don't know how to behave. Putting out fires and catching on fire. Not literally. Anyway, that was a segue off it to into nowhere. But it is about me, and this is my mental health. So there you go. Thanks for being my therapist today. But anyway, this coffee is so delicious. It affects my sinuses, and I think maybe it's part of what's upsetting my stomach. I believe I have what they call food sensitivities, and I'm sure all that cream and sugar is not good for us. However, I don't like a lot of sweets. I prefer salty, and I think that's why I like the caramel in with the sweetness of the cream. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to put this down for a base because it's so rich and creamy. And it, once again, the weather has shifted. It shouldn't get above 50 today, I don't think. It got to freezing last night. And I'm telling you, it was windy and cool the last 2 days here. And today, it's just bare. It looks like there's a little bit of a breeze going on. But it is cool. Oh, gosh, I've enjoyed a couple days hanging out in the yard a little bit. But not enough to actually do anything serious out there. I'm going to tell you what. The castor oil that I've been using, castor, C-A-S-T-O-R, castor, E-R, castor or castor? I don't know. If you Google it, it'll come up. But anyway, about finished my little bottle. And, well, I'd had a little bottle before that. It's like a 6-ounce, 8-ounce bottle for $10. Well, the problem is, excuse me, as inexpensive as it is, relatively speaking, $10 for twice this much, right? Because the bottle is round, it's like this, and it's like this tall. So 8 ounces. This is 4 ounces in here. Anyway, I've gone through 2 bottles of that now. On my legs, my thighs, my upper thighs, and my knee area is where my skin started acting eczema, like the beginnings of eczema, and these little age spots all over. And my arms were just coated with them. And I'm telling you what, I don't know if you remember any of my old videos with all these spots that I had on my arms, but this is all I have left. See that? Isn't that amazing? I think it's amazing. So anyway, I'm going to keep working on it just out of fun. I mean, I'm happy with this. My God, I'm going to be 62 here pretty soon. 62 or 63? 62. Wow. My life's changed a lot in 2 years. Anyway, just going to tell you that, you know, the better we take care of ourselves, the more our self-esteem rises. How we value ourselves rises. And the more we value ourselves, the less we let other people abuse us. Literally, excuse me, physically or emotionally or financially. When we start, you know, I think people say the words self-esteem so much that it's taken the value of the phrase out. Self-esteem, meaning self-respect. Esteem, oh, he's esteemable. That means he's done things that hold him in high regard. If we don't do anything that holds ourselves in high regard, in our eyes, self-esteem, then we don't feel, back here in the back of our head, we don't feel worthy of being treated with esteem, with respect. Oh, look at this mess. Okay. Let's try rubbing that in a little bit. We cannot easily, if I don't respect my coffee time, why would I expect you to respect my coffee time? Get it? If you don't respect your money and how you're taking care of it and keeping track of it, and someone takes some of your money, how do you expect them to think that you won't let them off the hook? Or sex, or car, or time. Think about that. Yeah. Sad but true. So, try an experiment. Get a hold of your checkbook. My heat just came on, and I don't need it. Hold on. There we go. The one thing I can say about my little house is that it has good insulation as far as I'm concerned. As far as I can tell. The only thing is that my heater or air conditioner are ever on much for is humidity. But I don't like messing with the humidifiers anymore. So I keep the air moving. So I don't have to worry about mold and mildew, all that moisture. There we go. I don't know why I didn't just use my hands today, but I didn't. Just didn't feel like it. Sometimes I just don't feel like it. Sometimes I just like the feel of a brush. Oh, anyway, trying to finish a story for a change. Oh my God, after that last video, I could only get... I rarely watch my videos before I post them because I just don't want to judge myself that hard, or I'd never post anything. But once in a while I'll watch it if I think, wait a minute, did I tell that whole story, or did I tell that right, or was I too mean or grouchy? I don't want to put myself out there that bad. If I sounded super bitchy, which, you know. So anyway, I decided I'm going to try to just tell one story at a time. I'm going to try. It just doesn't work well that way. But anyway, what I was saying about self-esteem is that if we can treat ourselves better, try to experiment. Get a hold of your own checkbook or go online. You know what I mean. Figure out your money. Where's your money going? How much are you spending? Where are you spending it at? Is it really necessary? Could you be putting money in a savings account instead? I'm not saying invest your money in anything. I'm not saying deprive anybody of essentials. What I'm saying is, where are you personally splurging too much money? So for me, that would mean if I have agreed to help pay, if I agreed to help pay for somebody's health care that's elderly or incapable of doing it themselves, if I made that agreement, that's different. That's not me being self-indulgent. That's me holding up what do I call it? Or everybody calls it. There's a point where I think part of our soul needs to donate something, either our time or finances or something. Tithing. It's sort of a tithing. I would rather help someone in need than pay money to a church that's going to build a new water fountain. That's just me. Sorry. I have made that decision a long time ago, and I stick to it. I apologize if I'm hurting anybody's feelings, but that's how I feel about it. Now, if the church has a special deal they're running to take care of something, I'll donate on that if I believe in it. But no, I'm not paying rent on a house. I don't have a house that's overglorified anymore. Excuse me. I've cut back because I understand that it's necessary. There is no way I need to be living in a palace with my needs. I don't need it. Would it be nice if I had endless money? Yeah. Just like churches, endless money, bigger. And I think it leads to arrogance. So it has to be very careful. If you're going to live big on the hog, it can. I mean, I don't know. If I could afford it, I guess I'd live a step up. Anyway, all I'm saying is take care of your finances. And that means also your time. Yeah, I think I could handle a little bit bigger house after I've gotten settled into this one, which I thought was a perfect size until recently. Now I'm thinking, you know what? I need an extra wing at this point. And a swimming pool and a pool boy, or whoever. A pool they. See what I mean about my sense of humor yesterday? Like, some people don't think that's funny. In my head, it was hilarious. Just because in my head I'm also running all the politics, all the commercials I've ever seen. It's just like my brain goes everywhere on it, and I'm thinking a lot more than what I'm saying. So, of course, the people who are hearing it aren't in on the joke. And even if they were, they think, man, you're weird. I don't care. I think it's funny. Okay, moving on. So, you take your wardrobe seriously. Get in your wardrobe, go through all your clothes, and ask yourself, do I feel like I respect me when I wear this outfit? Is someone walking in the room and I'm looking at them wear that? Is my first impression, I respect that person right off the bat? No? If not, ask yourself, why not? What about that outfit? What about those shoes? What about that obviously bra or underwear or not? Are you wearing Spanx under that outfit? Do you need to? Do you really need to wear clothes that are so tight that you need Spanx? Do you have camel toe? I mean, take a look seriously at your clothes and ask yourself, if somebody's walking in wearing that outfit, are you respecting them as soon as they walk in the door? Or are you judging them, right? Understand that if you're judging someone walking in looking like that in your head, then back here, you don't respect yourself as much as you try to make others believe you do. That goes with makeup. I worked with a gal, and it was one of my greatest honors to work with this girl, because I got her to trust me enough that she let me talk her into changing her hair color as well as her makeup. She had her hairdresser follow my instructions, and she allowed me to teach her how to put on makeup a couple times so she could get used to it. And I gave her some makeup and brushes and stuff. And she ended up being a beautiful girl. My God. It was like, that girl was under there all this time. It was amazing. That was amazing. I really enjoyed that. That was fun. Anyway, she started respecting herself a lot more. She was able to quit being so rebellious, so snotty, because everybody's looking at her. Well, now they were looking at her going, wow, you're so pretty. And she liked it. So see, I don't know, see if there's something about that. Also, for a long time, I had a deformed foot. A few years ago, I finally was able in a position to have surgery done on my foot to make it more normal. It's almost normal. It was what would be considered a club foot. The outside toe was folded in, and so where the knuckles were, like where a bunion is, it just kept spreading out wider and wider. So I was going to have to go to buy 2 pairs of shoes instead of just 1 pair and try to make one work. Because I was buying a size larger and filling in the smaller shoe with inserts. But it was obvious that if I continued this into old age, I'm not sure what all the problems were going to be. But I was finally in a position where I could take care of it. So I went ahead and had the surgery done. So glad I did. But meanwhile, I didn't realize I could have done the surgery much earlier, much sooner, had I been more disciplined and had better self-esteem. Because there was no reason for me to act like I couldn't get the surgery done. I had friends that would have helped me. Even the acquaintances I had would have been more than happy to help me. I just didn't believe it at the time because I had low self-esteem, right? Okay, I love this the first few times, but you can tell it's already drying up. So that may be why they took it off the market. I just don't think they could figure out how to keep it going. How to keep that color up into the tip. This washes out with my microfiber face cloth beautifully. Weirdly, I thought I'd try an experiment, and I used just those little face towelettes that are made for removing makeup and nighttime cleansing. What a mess. It was horrible. So I love my microfiber washcloth. I even take one with me whenever I travel. I have a class today, so I'm really excited about that. I'm going to hang out with my mother-in-law. That's what Mondays are for. I love to learn stuff. And I love that old lady. Okay, so so you lift your self-esteem. You prove that you care about yourself, which people around you can tell that you respect yourself by how you treat yourself. If you walk in and you look like you're comfortable in your clothes, you're not trying to make a big statement with your clothes, that you're better than or worse than, right? If you're not trying to show me how much of a rebel you are, it's like, who are you rebelling against? Especially when you get a little older. I mean, once you make it into your middle to late 20s, who are you rebelling against? If you're rebelling against your parents, don't live for free off of them. You know? You pay your rent by showing respect. That's what I say. Maybe that's why God didn't grant me kids. I don't know. I know a lot of people who had babies by accident, supposedly. But I never did. I always used birth control. I mean, I can't remember a time when I was sloppy about birth control. Not on purpose. Heck no. So anyway, about self-respect. Let's change the word from self-respect or self-esteem to value, right? You don't have to, people used to say, go into a mirror and say, I love you 10 times every day. Well, if you've ever tried that and was successful at it, meaning that it helped you, good for you. Good for you. But for me, in the back of my mind, I knew I was lying. So it didn't work for me. Affirmations, if they haven't worked for you, you're not alone. Your brain knows when you're lying to yourself. Your brain knows when other people are lying to you. It's an instinct we have. That's why a lot of people have ulcers. It's like a punch in the gut when people lie and they have to shut their mouth. I don't know if you know about Louise Hay, but if you don't, I would love for you to listen to some of her books on tape. The ones on YouTube sound even more horrible because she has like a granny voice. It's one of those voices from, like, I think she was from the, I don't know. I don't know, but even at my age, when I hear her voice, she sounds really old. She passed away a few years back, 6-7 years back. But she was on the cutting edge of spiritual and physical health, connecting to mental health. Woman's, as far as I'm concerned, a saint. I love her. I put her in the same category as Princess Diana. Princess Diana. So, what? Oh, mascara. I knew I was missing something. So anyway, the phone's going to start ringing. That means my phone will get cut off, so I better hustle it up. So anyway, people can tell, or when you're doing affirmations, your brain can tell when you're lying to yourself. And it shuts down. It starts to not trust you. That's why I think it's important. If you've tried daily affirmations, saying things in the mirror a couple times, and it just feels too freaking weird, you're not ready for that, or you don't ever need to do that. It's not something I do. I've tried it. I knew my brain was lying to me, and thank goodness that's around the time I was also listening to Louise Hay. My world has been so wonderful, the way I've learned things as I'm going through them. That's another story. I won't get sidetracked. Anyway, you have to tell yourself something that's believable. For instance, I'm getting better and better every day in every way. That's believable. As long as you're able to recognize the truth. You are getting better and better every day. How can you not? You're learning something new every day that you didn't know the day before. Yes, you are getting better. So give yourself some credit. I'm getting more and more financially responsible every day. I'm wearing more and more age-appropriate makeup and clothes every day. And all that means is, or I should say, I'm wearing, whether it's age-appropriate or socially acceptable, somewhere in the normal range. And I'm not talking about, my dear friend, Rose, who has a channel. You got to go see her channel. What? That's a classy dame right there. Talk about age appropriate. She's teaching us all something. Matter of fact, I put together a couple outfits out of my closet based on some of her sharing some of her videos. So, when we start knowing the facts, like if somebody says, what's the population in your town? And you're like, normally it's right around 36,000 people. If that's true, and somebody says, well, today there happens to be 34,114, you're not going to feel real weird about being wrong. You're going to go, yeah, just about right in there. That makes sense, because it fluctuates depending on whether people are here for school or not. Okay. You don't feel embarrassed. But if you said, oh, the population in my town is 150,000 people, and somebody says, well, there's 46,000 people, you're going to feel a little embarrassed because you know you're way off, right? Or you got caught lying. Well, the thing is, our body has to adjust to all of that. So if we're pretty darn sure of what we have to offer, if someone says, well, you have low self-esteem, you can say, you know what? I'm working on it. You don't have to say yes or no. You can just say, I'm working on it. I'm working on it every day. It's the truth. I'm working on it every day. Every day I'm alive, I'm working on it. And maybe subtle. And sometimes I might not have it front of mind, but everything I'm doing in my life is proving that I am working on improving my self-esteem, my self-value every day. This may not be my favorite cup, but I value this cup. You know why? I love a handle I can get my whole hand in, especially when I can do this. I love that. I love that. And it's a good size. It's stable. It doesn't have anything obnoxious on it. It's just a souvenir cup from my hometown. Good color. Fits in my all-white motif in my kitchen. And I value it. I value this cup because you can't find a whole lot of cups that have all those boxes to check. Same with me. I value me because I'm checking off some boxes. Know what your list is. Know what your value is. And if you don't have very many boxes to check, oh, I have good morals, good ethics. I'm loyal. I'm considerate. I'm frugal. I'm financially responsible. I and presenting myself in a way that I want to be treated. Because if I'm showing this and I walk into a room, how am I going to be treated differently than when I walk into a room like this? I hate to be crude. Sorry, flower. Not trying to offend you, honey. You know I love you. I'm just saying, I'm trying to prove a point. How we treat ourselves, how we present ourselves, comes back to us, right? People say, well, I should be able to dress any way I want, or spend my money any way I want, or talk any way I want. Yep, you're right. Enjoy. Or you can enjoy, you know, life is hard enough. With some of my quirks, life is hard enough without piling all that other old behavior on my stuff. I remember one time I was wearing a skirt. I finally got into recovery. I quit dressing like a biker and acting all tough. And I finally realized I loved dresses, but I couldn't quite find my style that fit me. So I got into these really hippy-dippy dresses they were almost like a heavy gauze that tied back here in the waist, and they had embroidery up here and flared skirts, sort of. And somebody would say, oh, here comes our hippie, here comes our hippie. And as I started being more and more financially responsible and a businesswoman, I thought, I don't want to look like a hippie. So I started going all sophisticated and wearing things like, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to say it. Like on that show Suits where Meghan Markle was wearing those tight pencil skirts with a little slit and kind of sexy tops. I was wearing clothes like that. And then I had someone say, well, you can tell you don't wear any underwear. Seriously, AA meetings were good for me because alcoholics don't know how to shut their damn mouth. It's true. Stuff comes out of our mouths. It's just like, I think that the gene got drowned in alcohol or something. And it wasn't like they were trying to really like flirt with me. They were just like, you look sophisticated and like you could be on one of those TV shows, but you also look obviously like you're not wearing any underwear. And I started thinking about it and I thought, oh my God, that's true. Why am I wearing clothes to make people look at me like I'm undressed? So back to the drawing board. Then I got into more casual. I started finding my style. You know, we don't do it overnight all the time. But I love the style of like Diane Keaton. Oh, just about anything she wears, I love. It's not over sexy. It's not over stiff. It's somewhere in the middle. She's just so classy. I love the way she dresses. And so I started looking at all kinds of pictures of hers. And kind of made sure that anything that I wore could make me feel that comfortable. I don't dress like her, of course, but that's sort of the main frame that I have in my head. That if she could wear it, I could wear it. And if I would wear something, she'd go, well, I'll wear that. Anyway, just throwing it out there. So raise your self-value. How are you valuing yourself? And look around your home. If there's things in your home that you think, wow, that looks cheap. Or ask yourself, could you live without it? Even if you didn't replace it, could you live without it? Are there things in your house that aren't working? They're just not working. And you stumble over it all the time. Well, the thing is, you think about it every time you stumble over it. Is it working? If it's not working, why are you stumbling over it? Things like that. If you have, like I have, and I rotate my bras, and I also do that with my underwear and my socks. I have all the socks I really like. I only have a few pairs of socks that I don't like, and I save them for when I am in a rare situation where I know my feet are going to get really wet and cold, or just dirty. And the shoes I'm wearing, I probably won't throw away, but I want to throw away the socks. Or maybe I'll throw away the shoes and socks. You know, a rare occasion situation like that. I only have a couple pair like that. I used to have a whole drawer of socks like that, and underwears and bras, but now I don't. I have socks that I absolutely love, bras I absolutely love. So every time I get dressed, I feel confident down to underneath. There's no secrets. You know what? It's not like, ooh, I'm wearing my ugly bra today. No, there's no reason for me to have an ugly bra. I have public bras and I have at-home bras. That's the only thing. I don't want to go out in public with those nice, relaxed ones. Anyway, you know that. Oh, that's so exciting. Anyway, I have to go get ready for this class. And exercise my dog. And I would love to hear how you're going to show yourself today that you value yourself. Let me know if there's anything you change up, anything that you clean out of your house or your drawers, or how you're going to present yourself differently or financially. Because I know my journey, and I'd love to hear you share your journey. It's very exciting. No matter how old we are or how young we are, we can start learning self-respect, self-esteem, self-value in a way that helps train others how to treat us, right? If we value ourselves, we're teaching other people how to treat us, right? Nobody's going to take advantage of me financially anymore because I've taken control of my finances, right? I have decided, that's back to the church thing. I've decided where I'm spending my money, and I'm not going to feel bad about myself, feel suckered, because I'm like, okay, I'll keep giving. Okay, I'll give to that too. Okay, I'll give to that too. No, I'm a grown up, and I'm like, oh, I already donated as much as I can this year. In a different direction. But thank you so much for asking and put me on the list for next year. Maybe I'll change my mind in where I direct my funds for donations next year. But they're already spoken for this year. See? You had to practice feeling like a grown-up. Finances, you know, if you want to be a grown-up, that's an important part of it. Speaking of finances, I have to go get some things done for work before that class starts. All right. Love you. And I'll look forward to hearing from you. Leave a comment. All right. Bye for now.